Do we start? Okay. The good people of Zamfara State and Nigeria at large, the recent upheavals in polity in Zamfara State as ignited by the state government following our sincere call on the government to be alive to its responsibility, have made it imperative for us to clear the air and categorically disclose to people that the PDP is not in any way trying to hit the polity. We have tolerated more than enough to demonstrate this. Everybody will, on the other hand, agree with me that the state government has demonstrated the peak of irresponsibility as far as this is concerned. It has demonstrated the peak of executive recklessness, and we tolerated it. So I believe everybody will agree with us that what is happening now is not caused by the PDP. We made a sincere call which everybody could understand was right. As you all know, the state government mobilized political bigots more than 3 times to vandalize our headquarters, our state headquarters here. But what would we do? We headed to the court. And the court, to ensure that it restrained any further unrest, it gave an order that status quo should be maintained. But to everybody's disgust, it happened again. They sent another group of bigots vandalizing the office, as everybody can see it right now. And the worst part of it, on the day we were to hold our state congress, they sent bigots again to go and destabilize the place, destroy so many things, and set things ablaze. But all the same, we stood it. Security agents were there. We are therefore waiting for them to see if they will do the needful. So I believe everybody will agree with us that we don't mean to hit the polity. It is much, much, much disgusting, surprising that this government, which could be said to be a child of opposition, a government that had power as a result of court action, not from polls. But such a government cannot have the least regard for the rule of law. It is very, very disappointing. Gentlemen of the press, you are witnesses to this. As one of you was also a victim, not more than 2 to 3 days ago. They sent another group of bandits, bigots, to go and vandalize the office of one of yours, one of the state media, one of the private media offices. I would also like to make a disclosure. The worst scenario is when you talk of finance, as far as this government is concerned, financial infractions. This government could be said to be a scam, loaded with frauds. It is the worst government we have ever had in terms of budget application. It has taken budget just for fashion, as a mere formality. We have evidences and will soon tender them. And I still reiterate the fact that up till today, not a single capital contract has been executed, completed, and commissioned by the state. This is very, very disheartening. It is very, very disappointing. More so, if I should ask you, who can tell me our contractors in the state? If you know just to tell, the state governor is himself the sole contractor in the state. We have evidences of this, and we are ready to tender them. I would also like to take us back a little, remind us about his campaign promises. When he was telling people, fuming, that a state governor was collecting 1 billion naira as security vote. He was saying that if he should have the opportunity, he could use it properly, utilize it properly to offer free education, free healthcare delivery, support businesses and so. He even gave the breakdown. If you spend 200 million on education in your local governments, won't it suffice? People were saying it would. What are we facing today? Is there any improvement? Are we not aware of what he's receiving? He didn't do this. But he could go to pastime places and give offers from Zamfara money. Because we know when he was campaigning, he was telling us that he didn't have money for campaign even. So where did he get the money to give 100 million to a praise singer in Niger? Where did he get it? It's from our past, we all know. More so, I'll make a little more disclosure, still on finance. Cash allocation. We were talking of security votes. Sorry. Right now, we are all aware that he collects 600 million every month as security vote. Note it. The Office of the Executive Governor every month collects 350 million as its CA. PPS, 30 million. Government House, 30 million. Just imagine this. The Office of the Deputy Governor, 30 million. Speaker, 300.5 million. Deputy Speaker, 3 million. Principal officers, 2.5 million. Other floor members, they collect 2 million at their cash allocation. What can His Excellency tell us he has done with these amounts of money? Let me give you the lump sum collection and how the person they are trying to castigate utilize his own. That is ours. His Excellency the Deputy Governor will tell how he utilizes his own. Just as I said, that he collects 600 million as security vote, 350 million for the OEG, 30 million PPS, 30 million government house. In 7 months, this amounts to 7 billion, and 70 million. 7 billion and 70 million. For the year 2020, if you add up these amounts altogether, it amounts to 24 billion, 240 million. Just try and calculate it. The year 2021, the same thing. It amounted to 24 billion, 240 million. This is to say, in summary, that the Office of the Executive Governor collected on these things we mentioned, security vote, CA of the Office of, OEG Office of the Executive Governor, PPS, Government House, 31 billion, 310 million. This is a very serious issue. And the PDP is calling on the State Assembly to invite His Excellency to tell us what he did with these amounts of money. In addition to this, maybe when I finish, I'll go back to this and highlight to you more impeachable offenses committed by the state governor. Let me go back to office of the deputy governor now. The deputy governor, in summary, we told you that his office collects 30 million as his CA. Remember, as for his salary, he said he forfeited it. We'll tell you how it is shared. So in the year 2019, when they came into power, in 7 months, his office collected the sum of 190 million. In 2020, 315 million. 2021, because they stopped it now for 7 months, it received 90 million. So their spokesperson who was saying that the office of the deputy governor received over 700 million didn't do his homework. He should go and dig well into it. So altogether it amounted to 595 million. And we'll tell you how this money has been expended. He had dedicated part of it to education. It is evident that he sponsored 300 students to study here in Zakas, in Gusau. 200 students to study in College of Education, Maru. We have the evidences. 100 students in Safi, College of Health Technology. 24 to read in a secondary school in Kaduna. Others include students of Al-Nahda University, Mariam Abacha, Sudan and Ghana. That is as far as education is concerned. In the future, we may give you the breakdown of how they enjoyed this support. He also expended part of it on Ramadan welfare to members of the party. Those who benefited are still alive and we have the records. He gave health assistance too. He sponsored treatment of several people to hospitals in Sokoto, Kano, and Kaduna. He offered several marriage assistance. He assisted the PDP office from the scratch with 500,000 naira every month. That is during the time of late Ibrahim Mallaha. But when Amfulani came in, the state governor made a promise that made deputy to stop it flowing from there. He also gave a lot of Salah welfare for Eid al-Kabir and Eid al-Fitr. The beneficiaries also, we have their record. He supported women from all wards with 500,000 naira and more than 5,000 naira each. And the beneficiaries are more than 5,000 too. This is known. He also gave assistance to mosques and cemeteries. Then he also facilitated and paid for the logistics to acquire the biggest transformer we have today in Gusau, which feeds Gusau Metropolis. He's the one that supported with the logistics until it is brought down. He supported skill acquisition with also a transformer. He sponsored youth training on automobile repairs. This is also well known. He contributed 20 laptops to College of Islamic Sciences here in Gusau. And we all know that he forfeited his salary, dedicated it to offsetting loans for imprisoned persons. People that have some debts that they were imprisoned as a result of that. So that, his salary, he forfeited it for that. It is used to, salvage such people, to help them gain their freedom. So I want to emphatically say that the allegations they are making today mean nothing to us. Why? Because we know that we didn't embezzle the state money. We didn't. And we know those that embezzle the state money. And by this, we'll soon disclose them one after the other, office by office, what they embezzled, and we even know some of the assets they acquired and the banks they deposited money. So we'll soon get to that extent as they are inviting it. I want to also emphatically state that the PDP cannot be digressed from its agenda. What they are bringing in, they are tete-a-tetes, because what they are doing are mere tete-a-tetes to us. They cannot divert our attention. Thank you so very much. Are they not working for the state? We want to see so that you also bear witness if they are working for the state or for His Excellency. We believe they are voted into power to serve the state. So the interest of the state should be prior to them. So it doesn't matter even if PDP does not have representation in the whole house. And that one-person representation amounts to 100, I tell you, because he knows what he's doing. We want to give this its own separate address. Why? Because all they are doing is trying to link issues with mining. And we know His Excellency's 10 companies mining in the state. We know other companies he invited to, of some ministers and so. So we want to give this a separate treatment. Anything that will bring serenity in the state, we really support it. That's why we are calling on them to be alive to their responsibility, which they are not interested in. That's why people are calling on them to do this. You understand? They should have thought of it. Where are their advisors? And have they acted? That is the question. Despite the call, they have not acted. We are very much in support of that. From 2019 to date, well, we can say we are far below average. Yes. We know what happened 2019 to the 2 tenures. You know what happened? There were no serious capital projects in the state. We know what happened afterwards too. Of course, Mahmouda started a bit. He couldn't continue due to the economic meltdown then. Abdulaziz, of course, tried his best. But this one is like a destroyer. You understand? So it is very much discouraging. Very much discouraging.